think engineering is one of the only degrees where you'll wake up and think, boy, why did I pick this major, while simultaneously bashing your head into the wall at the same time. Don't get me wrong, I picked engineering because I'm pretty smart in science and math. I want a good job, I want job security, and I think that I can make a lot of money. But I don't think my path was through marketing and business, which deals with money. I'd rather be working with hands-on scientific things. And so that's why I picked engineering. So this video is going to be all about my journey through engineering in university and how you can survive the terrors and the pains of engineering. So, a couple of things that you'll need. First off, some good books for note-taking. Something that you would actually want to write on is best. My preference is a composition notebook with graph paper on it. It's very good for technical stuff, and it's super cheap. Another alternative is the standard for engineering. Engineering paper comes in this taupe-looking, easy. They say it's easy or eye-ease color. Engineering paper looks like this. It's got what looks like a blank sheet with a couple lines, but on the back there is a graph printed on it, a graph pattern. Let's see if I don't know if it'll focus. However, when you scan it, it comes out like a normal blank sheet of paper, and you don't get the graphs on the back. The graphs you can kind of see through the light, maybe, and it helps you keep your notes organized. So this is another great way of keeping things organized. Basically, pick something that you prefer to write on and has a nice feel. Most people don't notice the quality of paper, but I bought some cheap notebooks, like this one. The paper's really cheap. It doesn't really feel super soft to the touch. When you write on it with pencil, it kind of like feels chalky. It isn't as smooth. But I also bought this expensive notebook, and the paper's super soft. When you write on it, it's smooth and it's easy. It makes your life easier. Basically, the key to engineering: make your life easier. Don't do things the hard way. Don't try to be a hero. Don't be an overachiever. Just do things as easy as you can, which this works for me. It may not work for you. But first thing, notebooks. You need some notebooks, good quality notebooks. The second thing you want to get is some Chalmers outlines. These things are great. I have tons of these. They will really help you with example problems when the textbook fails to explain things clearly. I have 2 or 3 different supplemental calculus books alone. So don't just get one, get as many as you can. I recommend going to Half Price Books or a used bookshop that will sell these for less than the retail. These are only 20 bucks, and they're probably less on Amazon, which is where I bought them. I don't remember how much it paid, but they give you tons of example problems and illustrate things clearly so that you can understand the material. Calculus and physics are one of the most challenging parts of engineering, or I shouldn't say challenging. They're meant to weed out people that don't want to do engineering, or people that want to. They're picking it because they were told to and don't really have an interest or passion in it. If you can't get past physics or calculus, then engineering is probably not for you. It is not something that is impossible, but you will have to work for it, and that is where it weeds people out. If you're not willing to work for it, then that is the point. You'll just drop the class, you'll not get an engineering degree, and you'll do something else like business or art or history. Whatever floats your boat, man. I'm here to tell you how to survive engineering, not really tell you what the best degree is to get. Another thing you'll need to survive engineering, and this isn't something you can necessarily buy, but it is friends. You're going to need friends in engineering, in your engineering classes, to help you motivate yourself to get to the next semester. Friends in engineering will do so much for you. Not only are they great connections, you can hang out with them obviously, but they are going to help you study, they're going to help motivate you. You kind of rely on each other to help build a community amongst yourselves. When you graduate engineering, graduate with a degree in engineering, employers are never going to look at people who are human calculators and that are self-sufficient and can work on their own. They're looking for people that can work extremely well in teams and can provide a sense of community and a overall sense of brotherhood, I guess, or brotherhood's kind of a weird way to say, but like a community of friends that will work together very hard. I am a junior going into senior year, and I had a class where we had a basically study session of just maybe 10 guys, and not only did it help me in the class, but it helped make new friends, new connections, and help prepare me for the future, for people who were, there were some that were much older than me, and so this is pretty much it for the things you'll need. Some tips: if you have problems, see your professor. I remember freshman year I was having a lot of trouble in a history gen ed class, and I thought I was going to get a C in it, and I went to his office hours, said, hey, I got a C on this last quiz, which the quizzes were really heavy in that class. I asked him, hey, how can I improve this? What are you looking for, and what do you want me to do about it? He told me that he was looking for, instead of listing off facts like you would do in high school, he wanted a narrative and explain what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and almost like a story. Why? And going off that, I got A's on all the quizzes after that. Got an A I got a B in the class, raised from a C to a B. So, if you have problems, talk to your professor. They're the people teaching it. If they see that you're showing up to class, they see that you come to their office hours to ask questions, they know that you're putting an effort and trying to do your best. So they will be on the lenient side towards you, because they know that it's not just a paper with a name on it that they're grading. They've met you and they've seen you. It's good to meet your professors face to face. Another tip: try to avoid evening classes. They will demolish your morale. There's nothing worse than going to school at 8 a.m. with classes until noon, and then having a 2 to 3 hour break, and then having another class, and then waiting another 2 or 3 hours, having another class, until you realize that it's 9 p.m. and that it's now time to go home and close to your bedtime. You like to sleep in or sleep early. I don't really sleep in, or I stay up late, and as a result it kind of tears me down after a while. If I have class from 8 a.m. to 9, and then I have to go home, and then if I don't, I usually don't do homework. I procrastinate a lot. As a result, it's like, if I have morning classes, I find that if I have morning classes, I get my homework assigned, I can do it while I'm at school, come home around 3, and be done and just relax for the rest of the day. If I need to study, I can put in extra time, but for the most part, if you have evening classes, it's really rough. Anything past like 4 or 5 is really annoying and can bug you a little bit. But it's not something that's like, oh no, I have evening classes, I'm gonna fail. It's not like that. It's more of an inconvenience to your lifestyle, which is where people influence you in a negative way. And what I mean by that is, when you go to college, there are a lot of people out there to party, which you hear this from everyone, but I mean, it's easy to get caught up with friends and procrastinate or skip class. It's very easy. Even for engineers, it's very easy to do. Engineers stereotypically are antisocial or lack friends, but it's extremely easy to get buried in video games, get buried in the internet, get buried with hanging out with friends, or that cute girl that's in your history class or something. Like, it's very easy to distract yourself in college because there's no one really watching you, and it's up to your integrity and face value of going to class, doing the work, which is where engineering is really hard, because you really don't have much time to be procrastinating. And since everything builds up in engineering, especially math, you do not want to skip math. Every topic builds upon another. So if you start skipping a couple classes, 1 week of material, that's like 10% of important stuff that you just missed, I guess. I made that percentage up. There's like 15 weeks. If you miss 1 week of class, that's like ish 8%. That's 8% of material you missed right there, that you have to learn on your own, that you may not understand because it's so difficult that you'll just bash your head into the wall repeatedly. So yeah, don't skip class. realize that the pitfalls of friends and partying, even though I said friends are important, there's a time and place for it. So realize that, and also try to avoid evening classes if you can. Really gets in the way of things. One really important thing to realize going through engineering is that this is not necessarily training you for engineering. It is in a sense. However, most classrooms do not simulate the real world. And what I mean by that is, you take tests, you memorize equations, you basically fill your head with information, all of which can be accessed through Google or an engineering handbook or some form of a book or another person that you'll be working with that can answer this question. So if you have some problem, you'll never have to I remember this equation, figure this problem out for the solution. You can do that, but you're not expected to. There's a handbook or the internet which can give you the answer. So never pressure yourself into thinking I'm gonna have to remember all of this information. You'll never have to. Engineering school provides you the way to think, but you're not expected to have the tools on you at all times. So that makes sense, that analogy. So don't feel like you're gonna need to know everything. Also, another important thing, find time to relax. Engineering can be really stressful, so make sure you take time to relax. That doesn't mean every day do goof off and everything, which you've heard this all before, but just know, take time to relax. Everyone needs a breather once in a while. And the last thing that I want to tell you guys is believe in yourself. Believe that you can be an engineer and that you can do well, because in the end it's really up to you to do this. No one's really forcing you. Maybe your parents are, but no one's really forcing you to become an engineer. And if you believe that you can go through everything and do it, then you will. Now I know that I've used survive many times, but that's not necessarily the mindset. You should believe that you can do this, but it's also something that should align with your passions and that you think you can excel in this field. You not necessarily want to survive. I used the word survive in a case of this is how you can make things easier on yourself and not want to bash your head in. Everyone's going to have those days where it's like, this is a struggle, it's hard work, but at the end of everything, you're gonna have a job that should feel satisfying. It'll give you it'll have a nice salary, and you'll be able to think for yourself in a way that most people can't. There's a reason why a lot of when you become an engineer, there's a reason why many people will ask you to fix things, and it's because they know that you're smart and that you've proved yourself to be able to be a problem solver, which is what engineering is all about, to be a problem solver. So I hope this video helps, guys. Enjoy your time. If you're in high school, get ready for the magical world of college. And if you're already in college, why are you watching this video? You've probably already gotten the hang of this if you're probably a freshman. So I mean, hey, props to you. Way to pick the engineering field. It's a great choice. And best of luck to everyone. Best of luck to you guys. So good luck. See you around.